everybody, AJ Rattel here, Director of New Hampshire Paranormal. Welcome to episode 2 of our web series, Got Ghost. This week got a pretty full agenda ahead of us, so let's jump right into it. First off, I want to announce, I'm very excited to announce this, coming up on December 14th, we're going to be hosting a charity ball, which we've dubbed the Snowflake Ball, in Boston at the Westin Copley Hotel. Again, that's December 14th. It's a Saturday night, and it's actually going to be to benefit Toys for Tots. Instead of charging a regular admission, we're going to admission is going to be one new unwrapped toy. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, just a simple toy to make needy children's Christmas a little brighter this year. There's more info on our website. Again, that's our Snowflake Ball coming up on the 14th of December. It's a Saturday at the Westin Copley Hotel in Boston. More info on the website, and definitely stay tuned right here as we'll have more information as it gets closer. We do expect spots to fill up pretty fast. So you definitely want to keep on top of that. The next thing I want to get into is some of our upcoming appearances. For those of you who don't know, we've already made one appearance. I was interviewed on the Boston University campus radio station this past Tuesday. But we have some more appearances coming up. The first is going to be on November 30th. 8:15 a.m. Our assistant director Aurora is going to be on WKXL AM 1450. It's based here in Concord, but is available to listen live streaming over the web. So don't want to miss that. That is again on November 30th at 8:15 a.m. Then on December 2nd, we're going to be making our first appearance, our first actual appearance. That's going to be at the Concord City Auditorium here in Concord. That's December 2nd at 6:30 p.m. Again, more info on the website and our Facebook page, so definitely check that out. We're just going to we're going to give a presentation, a little bit about the group, a little background about the team, and then pretty much open it up to audience questions so our fans can find out a little more about what we do. That's on the 2nd. Then on January 12th, we're going to be at John Hancock Hall in Boston, Mass. It's in the Back Bay of Boston. And on January 26th, we're going to be at the Ryan Center on the campus of the University of Rhode Island in Lincoln, Rhode Island. More info and details about those appearances, times, tickets, that sort of thing on our website, nhparanormal.zxq.net. And of course, we'll also be keeping you updated via our Facebook page. So really excited about those. It's going to be quite an experience to get out there and really interact with the public and help people understand a little bit more about what we do. So yeah, we're very excited about those. Okay, moving on to last week. On our last episode, we posed a question. We asked you how you felt about paranormal teams, that charge either a fee for training or fees to conduct investigations or membership fees or any kind of charge that they put out. We asked you how you felt about that. I offered my opinion. I said I don't think there's any place for it in the field. The field we're in isn't about making money. It's about helping people. It's about helping people, and it's about raising awareness of the paranormal. So to me, no place whatsoever in the field for any kind of charge, especially charging clients for investigations. I mean, if you're doing this to make money, you're in the wrong field. You're in the wrong field for the wrong reason, to be honest with you. And we posed a question on our Facebook page and some of the message boards that we frequent, and as it turns out, the majority of you agree with us, agree that there is no place for that. There were a few who thought who cited the cost to teams to travel and conduct investigations and purchase equipment and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, I totally understand. There are numerous costs associated with what we do. Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. But as I mentioned last week, on our team anyways, our team members are individually responsible for their equipment, purchasing and maintaining it, batteries, that sort of thing. We do from time to time purchase a piece of equipment for the entire team using money that we've raised, either through selling our merchandise or fundraisers or whatnot. But for the most part, our team members are individually responsible for their equipment. And, as far as the other costs go, sure, gas, we know, is outrageously expensive right now. And if you're traveling to do to do an investigation in another city or town or another state or what have you, sure, there's costs associated, but there are multiple alternatives to charging any kind of fee, whether it be membership fee or training fee or fee to clients. There are multiple alternatives. There are so many ways to raise funds. For example, our public appearances. We're not, okay, so technically we're charging for admission to those, but we're not making a profit. We're not making any money off of that. It's all going back into funds for purchasing equipment or traveling to investigations or traveling to conventions, and in the end, all that stuff helps out our clients. So even then, sure, we're asking, and the donations, I'll be perfectly honest with you, the donations are completely voluntary, completely optional. We encourage people to show up at our appearances, and if they feel compelled to donate $5, $10, whatever they can afford, fantastic. If not, we all understand the economy's tough. More people out of work, than I can certainly remember, and I'm sure more than most of you can remember. But I digress. I'm getting off track here, and I'm sorry. But there are multiple alternatives. Some of our fellow teams, I've noticed, have had public investigations, to raise donations or there are just so many ways to raise money. So many ways to do fundraising. There's no need of charging. Charging people to be a member of your team or charging people to be trained. There's just no place for it. And there was a really great discussion about the topic on Facebook and on some of our message boards that we frequent. So I was really happy to see that. Because I'm sure I've said it before, and I'll say it a million more times through the course of things, unity is absolutely 100% crucial to what we do. It's a very controversial field. Sure, it's gaining traction. It's becoming more mainstream, thanks to the advent of TV shows, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, what have you, Paranormal State, Paranormal Witness. It's gaining traction. It really is. Oh, excuse me. But it's still controversial. There are still tons of skeptics, tons of people who at best are skeptical, and at worst are outright cynical, which is fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But it's a controversial field, and because of that, unity is so very, very, very important. I can't stress that enough. Unity is crucial to the continuing success and continuing growth of the field. Will someday paranormal research be I shouldn't say scientifically respected or scientifically accepted field, because there are a lot of circles and a lot of people who already respect us as researchers and regard us as fellow scientists. Actually, the appearance we're doing in Boston is being sponsored by the psychology department at Boston University, so they're hosting us, basically. So there you go. I mean, there's an example. Because there's certainly psychology involved in what we do. But someday will it be a mainstream, scientifically, I don't know, for example, something that's taught at universities and colleges as part of the psychology or part of the science department? Who knows? Maybe. But until it happens, if it happens, teams have got to stick together. Teams have got to stick together, and we need the continuing support of our fans and our clients. I say fans. I use that term lately, but there's no other. There's not really any better way to describe. People who watch the web series or people that like our Facebook page or whatever. I mean, they're fans. But you guys make it possible. You make it possible, and you keep us going. And certainly our clients. Our clients are the most important, because without, at the end of the day, it's all about helping people. It's helping our clients. That's our goal. That's our one and only goal. Anything else that happens along the way it's secondary. It's a bonus. The Facebook page, the likes on the Facebook page, or the visits to the website, or public appearances, or interviews on the radio or TV or whatever. It's all a bonus. But we're not looking to be famous. We're not looking to become celebrities. If we become, I guess what I'm getting at is me personally, and I know I speak for my team, I'd rather be well known and respected for what we do than famous. And there is a difference. There's a difference between well known and famous. It's a very fine line. And unfortunately, I see more and more teams crossing that line, which is too bad, because it's teams like that give the rest of the field a bad name, and create more cynics, and more detractors, and more critics, and whatever, which there are plenty of. But if I can walk down the street, and actually today I had a perfect example of it. I'm walking down Main Street here in Concord, and I've got my NHPI shirt on. So I'm out there, and I'm and I don't wear the shirt to advertise. I wear the shirt to, because I'm proud of my team. And I was sitting and I was reading a paper, and I had a gentleman come up to me, actually a couple, and an older couple, and I had them come over to me. They had noticed my shirt, and they said to me in the most matter-of-fact way you can, which really made me laugh. They came over and they said to me, "Oh, we noticed your shirt, and do you really, or do you really hunt ghosts?" And so, without being too wordy, I told them, yes, for lack of a better term, that's what we do. And I told them a little bit about the team, and they said, "Wow, that's great, that you're out there to help people, and see that's what I'm getting at about being well known. I would rather be well known and respected by the public than famous, because there is a difference." But that made my day. It really did. The fact that somebody saw the shirt and thought, "Wow, I'm curious about what they do," because I'm sure they've seen, Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures or one of the other shows. It made my day. That's the kind of, but even if we did what we did and didn't get any recognition, or any fame, I guess, it would still be totally worth it. But I mean, let's be honest. Who doesn't like to be known? I joke with my friends and whatever about being a local celebrity, and but it's joking, and it's certainly not the most important thing. But it's nice to be known. It really is, because as long as you're known for the right reasons. You know, if we're known because we're a good team and we do what we do well and we help, you know, and we're helping people, then great, you know. But you know, don't try to get into the field because you want to be famous, because you want to be a celebrity and have your face all over TV and whatever, you know. Excuse me. Don't get into the field because you want to be the next Taps, you know. So there you go. Now that I've rambled a bit. So that was some really great feedback again. Thank you all so much for your feedback and discussion of last week's topic. This week I want to kind of shift gears a little bit from the teams to the clients who, you know, make this all possible. And I had a friend from middle school contact me, a friend that I went to middle school with contact me and via Facebook and told me that told me of some experiences that she's been having in her home, paranormal experiences, objects moving, and some really interesting claims, and some but she made a comment to me which really got me thinking. Made a comment to me and said, you know, I thanked her for contacting me and made arrangements to go to her home and get to the bottom of what's going on. But something she said to me really got me thinking, and she said, you know, I thanked her for contacting me, and she said, no, you know, I didn't know who else to turn to, and she goes, I know you're the only person that wouldn't think I was crazy. And it really got me thinking to the end that why are people so hesitant to reach out for help and seek help when they're experiencing something in their home, something that is more than likely paranormal? You know, it seems like people are hesitant. I mean, even watching, I mean, I know it's a TV show, granted, but even watching Paranormal Witness, you know, these awful, terrifying things are happening to people in their homes, and they just kind of ignore it and just kind of go along with it. And I mean, sure, if you're a skeptic, totally understand, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being a skeptic whatsoever. But when it starts to threaten you and your family, and I mean, that's when it's time to seek help, whether it be a psychic, you know, or a medium or something along those lines, or someone in the religious community, or or an investigation team. You know, it just really got me thinking, why are people so hesitant? I mean, don't get me wrong, there are people who will reach out. We've had several contact us because they have strange things going on in their home, and they want to know what's going on, and they want to know if it's dangerous or what it wants or whatever. But that's the question I'm driving at here. Why do you think people are hesitant to seek help when they're experiencing paranormal activity? And I mean, I have my own stance on it, and I think primarily what it boils down to is they're either A, skeptical, which again, nothing wrong with that, or B, they're afraid that if they contact somebody, they're going to be ridiculed. People are going to laugh at them and make fun of them. Oh yeah, sure, you have ghosts in your house. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people have that attitude. You know, same thing with, oh yeah, you're a ghost hunter. Okay, right. And they kind of, you know, laugh it off. And but skepticism, fear of ridicule, and one I actually had brought up to me today by someone that I was talking to. Again, somebody who had approached me and said, hey, we've got this stuff going on in my house. My wife and I are a little freaked out. And I offered to help, and he said, well, won't that make the activity worse? You know, won't that stir it up and make it worse, or make the ghost angry, or whatever? And I said, well, there's certainly a risk of that. It does happen. But if the team that goes in, you know, if they know what they're doing and they do it the right way, you know, and they know how to deal with that if it does happen, because it does, then you know, you'll be fine. So I think that's the third key, the third reason, and I'm sure all of you can come up with more. Of that I have no doubt. Seeing the incredible feedback to last week's question. So I think those are the three. Skepticism, fear of ridicule, and fear of making it worse. Which I'm not going to sit here and tell you that having an investigative team come in isn't going to make it worse, because it may very well. Because whatever may be there, whatever entities may be there, there's the potential that it could anger them, that because they think that you're coming to remove them, which in some cases you may be doing. Let's be honest, we've done a couple of cleansings already. So that's the question there. Why do you think people are hesitant to seek help when they're experiencing paranormal activity? So the question will be out on Facebook. Give us your feedback. The question will be on Facebook, and you can also email us nhparanormal1, the number 1, at gmail.com. So feel free to send along your feedback to that question, and next week we'll discuss the discussion, I guess. We'll discuss your feedback, see what you guys think, and we'll have a new question. That is pretty much going to put the wraps on this week's edition of Got Ghost. Second episode. That's pretty much going to put the wraps on things. Thank you, as always, to our fans, our supporters, our fellow teams, our fellow investigators, and our clients for making this all possible. And thank you very, very much for taking the time to watch us. We will be back next week, Thursday, 9 p.m., as always. And you can catch our information in the credits, our Facebook page, our website, our email address, and of course our YouTube, where we've got some really great videos. Thank you again for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks a lot. Bye.